Alright y'all, I'm walking Chloe around here. This little area here out back. See if we can get a couple good footprints here. And I'll come back out in a few minutes and do a cast. Looks like she's leaving some pretty good ones here. Come on, Chloe, come here. Yeah, I'll look these over and find a good one here in a few minutes. Good girl. Okay, so here's those footprints of Chloe's. So this one looks pretty good. I think I'm gonna cast it. And then this one looks pretty good. I think I'm gonna cast it too. So one thing I wanted to show you was the coyote. Coyote's more oval than the dog. You see Chloe's kind of got her footprints are similar to what they're showing here. Now there's a lot of different kinds of dogs too. And their feet are going to be a little different. But the coyote, you can tell it's a little more oval shape, where the dog spreads out more in the middle. Alright, so I'm gonna look these over and see if I see any better ones, but I'm gonna probably do them too. And then I wanted to show you a few things that I'm using here. This is a bag of plaster. You can get this a lot cheaper than buying it by the smaller boxes. And they carry this at Lowe's. At least I got this one at Lowe's. Home Depot may have it as well. 25-pound bag. This was only about like $14, something like that. Where those the little boxes that I showed you in the last video, those run about $5 or $6. So this is a lot more in the bag. And you can get a bag like this and you can fill up Ziploc bags to carry out in the field, to carry in your backpack. Alright, so I got tap water. I got me I think this was an orange juice jug. I'm gonna cut it and use that for my bowl. So I'll put me a couple little markers here, just so I can see this good. And I'm gonna do something a little different on this one than I normally would do in the field. But in one of my videos there, you can see where I used some of this tape and I made an outline around the footprint. But then I ended up not having enough. I didn't actually mix enough of the plaster for what I was doing. I'm just making sure I'm staying back away from the footprint. So don't disturb it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and use the hairspray. Okay, and I'll let that dry. Let it dry a couple minutes. That'll help hold it all in place. So that looks pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and take my hairspray and spread the other one. And I'm done with the hairspray. I'm just making another barrier for this other one. Alright, so now I'm going to cut this jug. That gives me my mixing bowl. Alright, so I'm going to make plenty faster to fill both of these up. Alright, so once you get the water in this and start stirring it, you have a little bit of time to work with. But you want to get it mixed up pretty quick and poured pretty quick. So you want this kind of a pancake type batter, and you want it just a little bit on the wet side. Trying to make sure I got plenty here to cover both of these. Alright, so I'm mixing it up thoroughly here. Trying to get all the lumps out. I'm trying to keep this just a little bit wet so it'll pick up all the details. So I just want to show you, it's still a little bit wet, it's not real hard. It's not like really thick. And it looks like I got all the lumps out. So this is looking pretty good. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pour it. That looks pretty good. So that's wet enough, it should pick up all the details. It should go down into the footprint pretty good. Alright, so there we go. That's how you pour cast. Alright, so I'm going to let these dry. You're supposed to let them dry about 45 minutes. So I'm going to let them dry 45 minutes to an hour. Alright y'all, I redid these footprints. I actually wet this down. I wet it down and raked it and wet it down some more. And I'm going to redo these, see if I can get them to come out a little bit better. I figured with the ground being wet it would look better. Alright, so I'm going to make some more plaster. And just so you can see what I did here, I got 2 of these. This one really looks good. So I'm trying to make sure you can see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna mix enough plaster again to do both of these. Alright. So you have just a little bit of time once you start mixing it. I try to mix it pretty quick. And I try to get it where it's just a little runny. You want it kind of like pancake batter, but just a little bit on the wet side. A little bit runny, that way it'll pour into all the details. And I usually try to get it started and I add some water to it, and then as I'm getting it mixed up here, then I'll add a little more plaster and a little more water to get it to where I want it, and make sure I got plenty. Because I want to try to mix plenty to cover both of these good. So you want to mix it up really good and get all the lumps out. I even try to get it all down in the bottom good and get all the dry parts mixed in. That's looking pretty good right there. So you can see it there, I got it pretty wet. And the weight of it will actually help push it all into the footprints to try to get all the details. So let's see if that's enough to do the next one. There we go. Alright, so we'll let them set for about an hour. So we'll let these set for a good hour or so, and then I'll come back and get them. Alright, these have been out here for a while drying. So we're going to pick them up. Hold on, Chloe. So they're good and dry, yep. Yeah, that's going to come out better. These will be a little bit better than the last ones. That was really good. Hold on, Chloe. Wait. Hold on. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, so I'm going to take these around front and let them dry before I clean them off good. Yeah, these turned out better. So that shows you the difference, just the ground being different. These I had to wet the ground pretty good and let it soak in some and wet it again. Had a lot better substrate there for these. So that's looking pretty good. So again, I just wash them off good. I take a small brush, small soft brush, and clean them up good. I'll get this tape peeled off. Alright, so these turned out really good. It's something you can do to practice with the cast before you get out in the field. So I brought one of these out in my grinder and I'm smoothing up the edges a little bit. Make it look a little better as far as the heart shape. And then smoothed off the back a little bit so I can ride on it. That's turning out pretty good. So I'm going to do the other one. I'll let you see some of this as I do it. I'm going to turn the volume down because this grinder is loud. So it's looking better. So what I'll do, I'll clean it up a little bit more and then I'll paint it white. If you do this, make sure you do it outside. You can see how all the dust is. It's just like if you're doing a repair at home with the plaster and then you sand it down smooth, it's going to be real dusty. So I'm gonna grind on it just a little bit more, and then I'm gonna clean it up good and paint it a little bit and write Chloe's name on the back and the year. And I want to give this one to Robin. So her and Danny actually got Chloe to begin with and brought her home. Alright, I really like how that turned out. So I'll do this one for Robin. And I'm going to keep this one. I'll do this one the same way. And me and Winetta will keep this one. See how dusty it is? Alright y'all, I'm going to paint these. I cleaned them off good. I cleaned them off good again yesterday. I took that brush, the little soft brush again, and a little bit of bleach water, and just washed them off good. So I just got a can of white spray paint, and I'm gonna spray these. I'm gonna let them sit and dry a little bit, and then I'll turn them over and spray them on the other side. Alright, we're going to turn these over now. They're good and dry. Start spraying the other side here. I bet this is going to make it look good too. Okay, I'm going to do like 3 or 4 small white coats. I'll let them dry a couple minutes now. Okay, I put several light coats on. One more here a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to let them dry, and then I'll write Chloe's name in June 2023 on the back, and that she's 5 years old, and give one of these to Robin, and we're going to keep one. Alright, check out how they came out. I'm all done with them. So I painted them white, and then after they dried good, I wrote Chloe's name on the back, and she's 5 years old now. Both of them. Just wanted to show it to you. It turned out pretty good.